There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show here for Saturday, December the 21st. And it's a great day for college football playoff. Wasn't a great day for college football playoff yesterday. Wasn't a great game, but we did get our first college football playoff game. And we'll be right back at it today with three more games. We'll find out who advances in the college football playoff after last night's game with Notre Dame doing a great job, certainly, in dominating Indiana. I didn't see that one too well last night. Hopefully you guys did. Indiana scored a couple of touchdowns in the final 2 minutes, so 27-17 wasn't even that close by far. Notre Dame, the 98-yard touchdown run on the second series after they got pinned back deep down there, but Notre Dame 7 of 13 on third down. Indiana could manage just 4 of 12. Notre Dame takes on Georgia in the Elite Eight next week. They were the dominant team last night over, I'm not going to call them imposters. Great job this season, Indiana, but Notre Dame gets the easy win. I want to shout out Mikey Money for giving the game out. I believe they're on pre-gaming yesterday. So great job there. Also, we had that teaser yesterday. So great job, Mikey. He zeroed in on the game with Indiana and Notre Dame. I did have one premium pick winner yesterday with Jacksonville State over Ohio in college football. Also, we had the total right in that one yesterday. But my picks on the show here weren't that great, so maybe no wonder why we didn't have any consensus plays yesterday. I couldn't lead us to many victories here on the show, but did have a pretty decent day with my premium picks, including a 5-0 night in the National Hockey League. I had premium pick winners, St. Louis and Florida game under, also Toronto and Buffalo game over. Also, premium pick winner, Utah and Minnesota game under. Rangers and Stars game to go under. Avalanche and Ducks game stayed under for me as part of my 5-0 day yesterday with my premium picks. Also 2-0 with my premium picks in the NBA. So the grind of the regular leagues were good to me anyway, as I had the Cleveland Cavaliers to roll last night over the Milwaukee Bucks, and I had the Thunder and the Heat game to go under last night, premium pick winner in the NBA. College basketball had a couple of premium winners, but couldn't turn a profit there yesterday. We'll get back at it here. This show is going to be mostly about college basketball, it feels like, here over the next 90 minutes or so. When that steam comes, keep rolling in. We're going to try to preview all these great games today, including 2 from the National Football League. Good games today, right up against those college football playoffs. It's a multi-screen world, so just accept it. Watch both games at the same time today, and some FCS. I've got some predictions there. I couldn't go premium on them after a couple of L's, but I'm going to stay involved with FCS action here today in the two big games, and we'll preview. I think we've got them all in the NHL and in the NBA, all but I think one game we're going to skip. And I've just picked the best in college basketball, so hopefully we can get through it. Let me just say hello to everyone. Get this show started here with plays already rolling in. I don't even know how we'll keep up on the steam and get through all this. Aba was here first to open us up. And hello to Truth Teller. He's here today. Good morning. Jermaine is here. Thomas Lewis is here, ready to run the show. Try to get us consensus plays today. Maybe we'll have that drawing. Maybe we'll have a couple of consensus selections from the chat all-stars. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Also, here is Textiles Today. Curtis Mann, thank you. Robert McCormick, thanks a lot. Joe W., hello as well. And Ron Young here today. Adit Shade here talking a little hoop, I think, in this one. Also, let's see who I can say hello to in the chat, including Wine Time here today. He thinks it's an awesome day of action here today. And who else? Thomas Bird here as well. He's ready to have a big day here. Joining us today on his, looks like maybe his off day here. All right. I think we're kind of ready to go here. I'm not going to belabor the losses too much yesterday. We did have some winners here on the show somewhere in there, like that sweep on that crazy Valparaiso Western Michigan game, maybe the underrated game of the day. We went with Valpo. We went with the under. Valpo trailed by I don't know. How many did they trail by? 16, 21? I don't know. They trailed big time. Valpo came all the way back to win that one. We started the day off with the sweep here on the show. I think college basketball, we did have a few other winners, including Dayton and Cincinnati game to go under, Akron and Yale to go under. But for the most part, I said those tournament event games would go under, but they went over, especially in Connecticut. Still had a premium pick winner, Holy Cross and Siena game to go over, and I had Providence there hanging on against St. John's for the money. Mikey had it also on his show yesterday as well. All right. Daddy Beats is in here today. Thank you for joining us. And I think we'll just get ready with the show. We'll just start firing here. Some steam has already come in, so let's see what we can do to just get a few moves in there for everyone that likes that portion of the show. And we'll just do it. We'll interrupt whenever it happens, even if we're in the middle of the prediction for an individual game and whatnot. Northern Arizona and Southern Utah. That's our first steam play here on the show. There have been plenty. I'll try to cover as many as we can when we get to the college basketball games. Like I said, we're just picking the best games here today. Northern Arizona and Southern Utah steam to the under here at 151.5. It's going down here right now to 150 with Northern Arizona and Southern Utah steam to the under. When those two teams meet, it's usually always an over, if I'm not mistaken. So, all right, let's get rolling here with the show, with our games for today. Oh, let's see here. See if any other. Nope. Here's one right now. South Dakota and Santa Clara steam to the under here right now with South Dakota and Santa Clara. This one was 169. It's now 168. I think that might be the highest total on the board today, if I'm not mistaken here, but it's going under right now with the steam. Two teams that have had a few overs, I believe. 169 turns into 168 here, South Dakota and Santa Clara.
System play.
All right, you know where we're going to start with the NFL here today. I know we have the big college games, but we'll keep them all kind of clumped together. Solo, good morning. Have a great day today. Thank you for coming in. Here we go. Oh, if I may, pardon me, folks. By the way, I did go, like I said, 5-0 in the NBA, 2-0 in the NHL. So let me do a commercial. I at least earned a commercial today with my efforts yesterday with the premium picks. Wasn't perfect, but we did end up total 10 wins and 6 losses over there at my winnable picks. So please consider subscribing today for just $4 or get a week for $8, 1 month for $20. That's just 50 cents a day. When you use the promo code STEAM, click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you to my winnable account, and you can get my best plays. I already have a dozen plays for the early college basketball action. Probably going to be firing 30 or more today on this card. So that's how I roll, high volume. You don't have to play them all, but you want to know what my opinions are. I can only cover about a dozen college basketball games, if that, today. So if you want my best plays, please consider over at Winnable today. We've definitely been hot in college basketball, despite we definitely were in the red on college basketball yesterday, but it only ruined a pretty strong streak here as Manchester City has just scored finally here to make it 2-1, but Villa leads. We're in extra time here with just a minute to go. Injury time here, just a minute to go, but goal here for Man City. Anyway, check me out over at winnable.com. I've got a dozen plays up right now for the early college basketball, plus all of my football plays for the FCS playoffs and NFL currently up there right now. So check it out. Get those plays from me if you're having any trepidation, any doubt. Just want some reconfirmation. See what I have today with my top plays over at Winnable. Hopefully going to give you a bunch of free winners right now, and appreciate that. Just use the promo code STEAM to save 20% over there at winnable.com/Ramon, or click that QR code there in the upper right-hand corner of the screen now, I believe. And let's get it started. Say hello to anyone else here, including Joey Harb. He's ready to go with his college football action here. And Jermaine has a prop here in the NFL. I'm ready to start at this point. But I want to see if there is some plays in there. I don't want to miss them. All right, here we go. We're going to start with the NFL, I think, today. The college football playoff does start at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, but we're going to go with the NFL, the 2 games first here, with Houston taking on Kansas City in this one. You do have the Chiefs, of course, favored here. Maybe there's been a little bit of buyback here of late. We know that it didn't start out this way necessarily with the news of Mahomes. He was going to play here now in this one, but he's certainly going to be slowed here after that. I know they said he's been practicing, he's been stretching, and he's been going through the drill here, I think, a little bit, but nonetheless, it does feel like it's a tough game here for Mahomes to be totally ready. And, well, the Chiefs, they finally did cover, but we know their problems are always covering spreads here for the most part. That's been their bugaboo as far as betting on them. They get the win, but they don't get the cover. And, well, they do produce some unders as well with their underrated defense here, and the total right now at 42. So Chiefs favored by 3. You might see some 3.5s out there, or the 3s are juiced up here a little bit, is what it feels like right now. See what you guys are going to do with this one here with the Texans and the Chiefs today. We got a billion games, so love to talk about it in depth, but we might just have to kind of cover it here right now as best we can with some trends. Some trends and some numbers with these two teams. You have the Texans here coming in 4-10-2. Or let's see, their road spread record not great this season. Let's see exactly here: 3-4 against the spread overall, but the Chiefs just 2-5 against the spread at home, 4-7-1 against the spread as a favorite. The positive here for the Texans is that they are 2-1 against the spread as an underdog. I know that's not much, but when you have a Houston team that they're sub 500 against the spread overall this season, and Kansas City certainly below par against the spread. Houston 4-10 to the under so far this season, including 0-3 to the under as a dog. I'm going to end up here taking the under in this game at 42. We know the Chiefs play a lot of unders as well, but maybe not as many as they had been in the past, but they have gone under their team total in 9 of their 14 games this season. The Chiefs, they're 13-1, but they're 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games overall, 12-22 against the spread, coming off of a win. And the Chiefs have gone under in 4 of their last 5 home games overall. So see what you guys have here in the chat. See what you, this one may be mixed results, it feels like, in the chat today. But the Chiefs did get that bugaboo off their shoulders a little bit, at least for spread bettors. Finally getting the number here. Adicha says we win with Villa here in this one today. They were a dog, but get it done against struggling. I wouldn't say struggling City, but all right, let's see here what we got. Any picks with the Texans and the Chiefs? Hello to Subhuman today. Let me see what's going on over there at our community tab today. See if anything's happening. Here's Robert on the under, but Elliot's on the over. Here we're finding the picks now. Here, Thomas says the Chiefs will find a way here. I don't know if that means just to win. They'll find a way to win, maybe. True Teller was thinking Chiefs, but maybe he liked the Chiefs without Mahomes, thinking that they had the value because he cashed out there, he said. Thomas is liking Penn State in the college football playoff today. Here's Stop Geo, likes Nico. Man, he's looking strong and tall right now. Maybe finding a little bit. Here's Houston. Look, Houston, important game for Houston. Yeah, the Chiefs want to, be in their little battle as well here for the home field. They have that lead on the Bills. It's pretty comfortable here. They want to keep winning and make sure they have that this year. But the Texans, they're already in here, and I don't know how much more they can improve necessarily. They have the worst record here by a game behind the Steelers right now. So I'm not sure. I mean, they could conceivably catch them, but all right. Super True is here today as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and make my call here on the under in this one with the Texans and the Chiefs. If anything, maybe the Chiefs have the easier motivation here. I know it's tough to say because both teams are already in the postseason, but the Chiefs, again, they're just looking to win the game, though, right? And the Texans, maybe they can breathe a little life and catch the Steelers or something, especially with the next game here today. Certainly going to be an interesting one. So I don't see any more comments from you guys. I'll just take the under here with the Texans and the Chiefs. Next up, it's important because so the Steelers, they're 10-4. The Texans are 9-5 in the races for getting a better seed in the AFC. I guess that's all I'm trying to point there, that maybe the Chiefs, they're 2 games up on Buffalo. So I'm not saying they can lose. They don't want to lose. Buffalo, could still supplant them, but it's going to be hard, I think. So maybe the Texans do have just a little bit extra motivation in that game, but it's still a lot determined with the Steelers. What happens here today? They're a big underdog today against the Ravens, which, that's kind of peculiar because the Steelers, we've talked about it in the last matchup. They own the Ravens for the most part. They've been winning this series left and right. They've won 8 of the last 9 games in this series right now. And come on, they have the better record. Yes, the Steelers looked a little bit lethargic offensively without their top wide receiver. That's tough, right? Because you want to be a little bit better depth-wise if you are the Steelers and you're, like I said, heading into the postseason. The team that isn't yet heading into the postseason is the Ravens. Now, they're a virtual lock to make it to the postseason here, but hey, they can win and seal that spot. Here, they're even if they lose, they're likely in. So I don't know what's my motivation. They're still alive in the division race as well, just a game back here. So huge game. 6.5 point spread does look a little bit dicey, man. The Steelers 5-1 against against the spread as an underdog. These trends aren't anything new to bettors with the Steelers and the underdog, especially in some of these division games. Yeah, it might have not worked out the other day in what was the North Division matchup? Oh man, I'm trying to think. Maybe it was a Ravens game, but Steelers here, they've won and covered 7 of their last 9 games overall. They're 8-3 against the spread. Last 11 here off of a loss. They're 5-3 against the spread on the road this season. 9-5 against the spread in their division games on the road here last couple of seasons. They've gone over in 7 of their last 11 overall, have the Steelers, believe it or not. So Baltimore's been a solid over here this season. 11-3 to the over, 9-1 to the over in their last 10, and 10-3 to the over in their last 13. But this is a dead under series between these two teams. So maybe, with this season, the Ravens and this offense looking so good, but still, if the Steelers are going to have problems offensively, they better bring it with a little D here today. So let's go to the chat and see how you guys are playing this one with the Steelers and the Ravens. Hot division game in the AFC North. All right. Subhuman's got his EPL here. I'll leave this up here for a second. Well, maybe I'll put on the Premier League goal show here. So keep an eye on all the goals here coming up here at the top of the hour. But take a look at the action from Subhuman here with EPL morning here on Saturday, top of the hour action here. See if I can't get to the goal rush. That's what I want to do. Be ready for the goal rush. All right, Thomas is on Pittsburgh here. Jermaine's got Jackson to go under in this one. Thomas says Ravens at home. Revenge here. Ravens jump out to the lead. Scoring early. Steelers won that game 18-16. They got the money last time. The Steelers seemingly get the money here. Let's see. What was the meeting here last year? 17-10 Steelers last year. So they're Steelers always bringing the heat here in this one with 4 straight covers right now. All right. Elliot says the bets are on the over here in this one. I get it, but man, this is an under series for sure between these two teams. Can't remember the last over here right now. I don't think last game was 18 these are the last 5: 18-16, 17-10, 17-10, 16-13, 16-14. Maybe it will go over. I don't know. Doesn't sound like it's going to be close to an over. I'm taking the Steelers here plus the points. It might be 6.5 at a lot of spots right now, but there are some 7s out there. I'll change it here to 6.5 here today, but I'm going to think the Steelers. Look, they know they don't have their top receiving threat. They'll do it the Steeler way here. Why wouldn't they hang in there? They always hang in there in this one. Let's see what we got. Some more plays here. Robert's on the Steelers. Elliott says Steelers and under. Super true, Ravens first half. And Elliott's going under here.
Steam play.
And I've got, man, there's just so much steam. That's it for pro football, it looks like. So maybe I can squeeze in a few of these steam plays here from college basketball, get you some action here with Ball State minus was -3. They're up to -4 right now. Ball State taking the steam here. Evansville's had a lot of success against Ball State in the past. I did have a premium pick on that game with the total. Also, Cal Baptist, some steam here in their game against Fresno State. In this one, it was 152. They're up to 153 here right now with Cal Baptist and Fresno State. Some steam came in while we were going through the NFL. All right, next up, we're going to go to the college football playoff. Here is Weber State taking steam against Utah Valley. Weber State, they've kind of dominated Utah Valley. Now, I know Utah Valley's made some strides here, and the spread was a pick 'em. It's going up to 1 or 1.5 right now with Weber State. They've usually been a bigger favorite, and they've usually hammered Utah Valley. But with Utah Valley slightly on the improve here, and Weber State, they're still all right. Okay, another one here. Georgia State and Troy. We're seeing this one. Game total here going over right now with Georgia State and Troy. It was 145.5. Now 146.5 or so, I think. Georgia State and Troy steam to the over. Troy really does get the best of Georgia State, but man, a dozen-point spread there in that one. Usually Troy is able to get the money in that matchup. All right. I think that might be one more here. How about Wichita State taking the steam here against Kansas State? Kansas State's done pretty okay in that series for sure, but Wichita State at home, they don't lose very often. They're taking some steam here. It was 2.5, but it's down to 2 or maybe 1.5 here right now. Wichita State taking the steam against Kansas State. All right, I think we're going to get ready to go to the college football playoff here. And let's see what you got. Any more comments here? No, Thomas, Pickens is the man you're referring to. We referred to him in the preview there that he is going to be out. Yeah, Jermaine said it there. He is going to be out of the game. So, the Steelers have to rely on their running game. But again, if anything, they didn't necessarily. I see the comment there that Jackson had missed a couple of those games, but the Steelers haven't had the best offense. I guess they still don't necessarily, but Pickens has made a big difference. Oldies here today, but in the division game, certainly. Flea Mathis, thank you here. I hope this isn't on some auto. Flea comes in every day. Thank you, Flea. Really appreciate you. All right, that's it for the NFL. Enjoy those games. I saw you guys already talking pretty heavy here as we get into the college football playoffs. Today, the college football playoff. After last night, hope we get some better games here with SMU taking on Penn State in this one in Happy Valley. So you wonder if these teams that are kind of making this is a debut for everybody, right? But you look at Indiana last night against the power team there, it felt like Notre Dame. Now Penn State is Big Ten. We get that. And SMU, look, they got hot there against Clemson. Maybe they were a little bit intimidated there early as they struggled or were stunned kind of early in the game against Clemson in the ACC final, but we'll see here right now what's going to happen in this one with SMU and Penn State. For SMU, they've won 9 of their last 10 games before losing 34-31 to Clemson last time out. Their only other loss was at home to BYU, 18-13. SMU's 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. Penn State's won 4 out of their last 5. They lost at home to Ohio State. They lost to Oregon. So basically, 2 of the top teams in the country were their only losses here. Penn State just 3-4 against the spread at home this season, despite that 6-1 straight up record. They got certainly one of the best quarterbacks going right now, and a guy who's probably going to be one of the top candidates for the Heisman Trophy next year, Andrew Aller, and really kind of coming through big time here. It feels like late in the season, despite that last game, the Oregon game, but still was a thriller, right? And they put up 37 points. So Penn State 3-7 against the spread last 10 games, coming in off of a loss. And we'll see what the weather's like in Happy Valley tonight or this afternoon here in this one at noon Eastern. Let's see what you guys are going to do here in this one. Penn State 13-6 against the spread. Last 19 non-conference games, 35-25 against the spread at home under Franklin. We know he likes to cover the spread, but this one's tough still. Got to give SMU respect. And like I said, this ain't some fluke for SMU. They're going to be they've got donors, man. They're coming back big time. SMU's got the money, and they're going to be competitive and everything, it feels like. All right. Here we go with Ray Otachi here today. Thomas likes Penn State in this one, it looks like. Elliott likes them to win it here and get the money, it looks like. The widely reported steam was on SMU here. And maybe, just maybe, Thomas says SMU can do it again, right? With coming in through the back door a little bit with that total, he says, at 54. And Lee Anthony Quinones is here today. Hello to Lee Anthony, talking Ravens football about winning that division. All right, I'm going to take the Nittany Lions here to cover the number. I think we do have a little bit of look, that was great against Clemson, and we're going to talk about Clemson in a minute, where they stand right now. But I think this Penn State, not only the defense, but the offense here starting to come through a little bit as well with Aller. He looks like a big time star. SMU's got plenty of talent, no doubt about it. And it's a little bit tough here right now. There is still some 8.5s out there, some sharp shops. Most of the Vegas books, in fact, are 8. It feels like the rest of the country, or Vegas is at 8.5. The rest of the country is at about 8 here. And if I'm going to lay Penn State, let me go ahead and put an 8.5 on there right now. But I'll take them by double digits in this game here. We'll see if SMU can get it going with the offense. All right, Thomas likes the over here in this one. And I don't know with these two if it will necessarily be an over here. We saw last night, right? Stayed under by a touchdown. Okay, not that matters. Let's keep it going here right now. There's steam rolling in. We're going to cover some more college basketball. Let's see if we can get through these 3 games here with Clemson taking on Texas at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific in the second game of the college football playoff. In Austin here, Texas, another big favorite here, double digits here in this one. So Clemson, maybe they have made some strides here a little bit, but the steam came rolling in on Texas here in this game. We'll take a look right now. Clemson 4-1 straight up in their last 5 games. Of course, they won that game over SMU last week. Clemson just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. Clemson is 3-6-1 to the under in their last 10. They've won 3 straight bowl games here, but this is a different element against Texas. 10 of their 11 wins came by double digits here this season. So Sark 15-10 against the spread as a home favorite. They're not great against the spread when coming in off of a loss. Of course, they lost to Georgia 22-19 as a favorite. A little bit of a stunner there in that SEC game, but we'll see here this total now at 50, and the line has gotten away from them here at 13.5 now. Like I said, open generally 10.5 or 11. Some of the look ahead lines had Texas favored by even less than that. But is Clemson going to be able to do enough offensively here to even stay within 2 touchdowns today against Texas? Let's see if you guys have anything there. Texas defense, they've held 12 of their 13 opponents to under 300 yards. All right. Not much from the chat, it looks like, in this one, actually. I know these elite games can be tough for any handicapper. Thomas is on Texas here. I'm on Texas here to roll over Clemson here. They're going to stifle them, I would think, here today. And Elliott says Texas and under. Clemson's offense. Can they get anything done in this situation? Robert does like Clemson. Cash Kane says go over. So he's got to like a little bit of Clemson offense, but Thomas says Clemson is not covering this one. Elliott likes the under here in this one. And I think that might be it from you guys. And I'm going to take Texas here to win this one by more than 2 touchdowns and stifle Clemson here today. I think for Clemson, I think that was the win against SMU. That was their celebration last week. All right. Next up, the final game in the college football playoff win. Tennessee goes into Columbus to take on Ohio State. Here in this one, you have Ohio State coming in with those 2 losses, of course, to Oregon and, of course, to Michigan, surprisingly here. So, hey, if they can't cover a big 20-point spread against Michigan, how are they going to cover 7.5 against Tennessee? Well, maybe the circumstances are different when you're talking about that rivalry game. I guess that's the only way that I can describe it here. Tennessee comes in 10-2 with their only losses against Arkansas and against Georgia. So they are 2-2 against the spread in true road games this season. Tennessee's just 1-7 against the spread their last 8 games as a road underdog, and they haven't been too great in that role for sure. Ohio State's won 5 of their last 6 after last week's game. It's going to be cold tonight for sure, but I think we're dealing with clear skies for the most part. Buckeyes are 9-5 against the spread their last 14 games at home, and 25-16 against the spread at home under Coach Day. Not great in non-conference games are the Buckeyes, just 5-9-1, but they've held their last 6 opponents to 275 yards or less. So I'm going to end up on another under here in this one. I'll take the under with Tennessee and Ohio State. Ohio State 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games overall. And let's see what you guys want to do in this one. Tennessee's been great in the postseason. They've won 4 out of their last 5 bowls, and the one loss was a 48-45 loss in overtime. But we'll see here. Look, Nico had a great time last time in the his postseason appearance that put him on the map in that Citrus Bowl, but this is a little bit different, it feels like. Here we go. Anything here with Thomas is on Tennessee in this one. And good morning to our Thomas. Thomas says maybe under here in this one. Thomas also says could have some snow flurries here. Our Thomas likes the under here with me. Elliott says under in that Ohio State game with me. Montclair Disciples is here. Says you got to take Penn State. They represent the big boys, and SMU represents Cubs. And again, look, I think that we're going to see SMU be a player here in the future. And I think they're a player immediately. But yeah, it might be a little bit, funny, right? We have a 12-team playoff. Let's get all excited. We probably should have a 4-team playoff here. This right, give everybody a chance. Let's do it. But I think I could tell you. I think I could look. Maybe it's 5, whatever. But I don't know. It feels like there's back to the old days, right? Maybe there's a 4-team playoff is what we should have had. Robert said go under. Dana Delp was on Penn State back in that game. And I'm going to take the under here with Tennessee and Ohio State. That's it for the FBS playoffs. Let me rattle off some steam, and I think I'm going to just give out my FCS plays here on the show. I was going to go premium, but, with the 3 huge games and the 2 NFL, I'm just going to go with my FCS here on the show today. But I kind of do like a couple of the plays in the FCS. Let's talk some steam here real quick with some more college basketball, and then we'll get to the NBA, we'll get to the NHL. We're going to end up going pretty fast. Get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready, and we'll have to just get it going here. No consensus from the NFL or the college football playoff, and that's understandable, right? Because they are tough games today here. Okay, some steam came in here just moments ago in college basketball with the game between Maryland here. Oh, an early start here, right up top of the board. Maryland here at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Top of the board, 6:01, 6:02. Maryland was a 12-point favorite. They're up to 13.5 here, maybe even 14. This game being played in Brooklyn, Maryland, a big favorite against Syracuse in this one. Also, Bowling Green just now taking steam in their game against St. Thomas. Bowling Green was a 4-point underdog at home to St. Thomas, but this one's going to go to 3.5, down to 3 here. Bowling Green taking the steam against St. Thomas. NBA steam here real quick. I know we're going to do mostly college basketball, but I will pass this one along because this was going to be my play today on the show. Miami and Orlando under. Steam is coming in on the under right now at 2:0. It was 209.5, but it's probably going to go down to 208 or so. And I've been rolling with some unders here with these teams a little bit. I think they're not big time unders this season, but they seem to be of late. We'll cover it a little bit, but I've got under here with my play, Miami and Orlando, but it did take the steam here. It looks like the 208.5 or so. Also, Greensboro took some steam right now. North Carolina Greensboro in their game against Elon. Greensboro taking the steam. They were a 1-point dog. It's now a pick 'em. Greensboro has had a good series against Elon in the past. They played some high-scoring games, those two clubs. Greensboro took the steam. Manhattan and Presby, extra board action here. We're seeing steam to the over here in this one with Manhattan and Presby at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific. It was 145. This one may go all the way up to 147 here. I think it's 146 here right now and climbing. I would think there we could see that one go a little bit higher. Manhattan and Presbyterian. Also, the Nasty Nate special here, Temple and Rhode Island. We're seeing steam here to the over in this one with Temple and Rhode Island. These two have played a couple unders. They have a pretty lengthy series history. Temple's kind of had the best of that series, but we are seeing the steam there. Also, Arkansas here right now. Arkansas taking the steam here against North Carolina A&T. Arkansas was a 27.5-point favorite. They're up to 28.5 right now as Arkansas is taking the steam against North Carolina A&T. All right. By the way, that Temple Rhode Island game, the total had been steamed up here too. It was 150, but we could be going up to 151.5 or 152 here right now in that one with Temple and Rhode Island. Also, Santa Clara took some steam in their matchup today with South Dakota. We already talked about the total, right? That high total in that game getting steamed under. Well, here's Santa Clara. They were an 18-point favorite, but they're up to 18.5 or 19 here right now. It's Santa Clara looking pretty good this year, taking some steam there against South Dakota. Also, more steam with Western Illinois, underdog against Lindenwood. It was Lindenwood, a 3.5 point favorite, but going to be down to probably 2.5 here or two, with Western Illinois taking some steam here against Lindenwood. All right, we might be caught up on most of it right now. So let's get to, I'm going to give out plays here. I think just side and total, maybe trying to zero it down here on exactly. Oh, got a couple more here. These are a little bit stale, but want to mention them because Northern Colorado and Denver, this one took steam to the over at 156. It's up to 157 here. These two teams have played some overs. This is a regular series, Northern Colorado and Denver. Steam to the over. Those teams have played some overs in that series history. Also, Drexel taking steam in their early matchup here at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific against Penn State. They're playing that one at the Wells Fargo Center. It was Penn State minus 16, but it's down to 15 here as Drexel is taking the steam against Penn State this morning. All right.
Steam play.
Steam here just moments ago on. Oh, I think we got it here. Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Drake. This one's a little bit stale, it looks like, but we did see steam to the under here in Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Drake. It was 141. It's down to 140 here or lower. Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Drake. Okay, let's keep the fun going here right now with some action from the FCS playoffs here right now. And let's take a look at these great games here. Remember, I'm already on Montana State to win the whole thing at plus $1.90. They're down to $1.60 or so right now. First game out the blocks here, South Dakota State taking on North Dakota State. In this one, South Dakota State here, a road favorite. They are probably the much better team. It just so happened that this is where we ended up here with North Dakota State being the home team here in this one. But South Dakota State opened 2.5, and they're now up to 3.5 or so in this one. So in the first meeting, it was 13-9. North Dakota State actually won. South Dakota State had owned the series for the most part for quite a while, but it was a stunner. North Dakota State was a 2.5-point underdog at home, similar to this matchup here, but ended up going 13-9 North Dakota State. So I like the revenge factor here with South Dakota State. Gonna have to lay that hook. So maybe I couldn't get too deep in a premium. I've been watching, when you watch FCS, I talk about it all year, watching one screen on ESPN Plus and kind of going through all the games every Saturday. But you do watch more of these top teams, no doubt, especially these Final Four right now. And obviously, this is a very familiar matchup. I like the over in this game. The steam did come in on the over, and you see it right now at 50.5. It was as low as 47.5. But outside of that first game being 13-9, North Dakota got the win. Usually it is a much higher scoring game between these two. Last year's matchup was 33-16. It is just short of this one, but I think I like South Dakota State a little bit stronger. I'll also recommend the over, but South Dakota State I think is my preferred play in the matchup with North Dakota State today. Also, here's the matchup with South Dakota taking on Montana State. full disclaimer here is I've got Montana State to win it all. They're my favorite team right now, certainly here in FCS this year, and I think that they can pummel South Dakota here, probably win this one by double digits. Maybe the over is the best bet in this one at 56.5. Still a pretty high number, but I do like this one. Maybe I like these plays a little bit more equal, whereas last one I preferred South Dakota State over North Dakota State, and then I like the over. I think here I do like this one pretty equal. I'll take Montana State though to roll here by double digits. Look, good quarterbacking matchup. Malott has been really strong though for Montana State, and they have a great back in Humphrey, but they really do have great balance on offense, Montana State, and they've really been clicking here. No doubt, South Dakota's been awesome too. Both teams come in here, with big time winning streaks right now. South Dakota won over Davis 35-21 to get the money in their last playoff game. Montana State's covered 3 straight right now. So, all right, appreciate you guys listening to me there with the FCS playoffs, and I've got Montana State in the over in that one. All right, we're going to go to the NBA here and try to rattle off these cards here. Probably just a lot of plays. Maybe we could find some time for some trends or information about the games a little bit, but I don't want to keep you guys too long here and just going to go through the games here. Make sure I did skip one game here in the NBA. It was the Jazz and the Nets. I could have cut off, I guess, a few more, but they all had some decent teams here, and the Jazz and the Nets are definitely the low totem pole matchup. I probably like it as a premium, though. Okay, Lakers and Kings today. We'll see how these have moved also. These lines are typed in. I was getting ready last night for this show with so many games. So this one right now, 6 and 227.5. So not too far off what we've seen here. Kings have lost 2 straight. Lakers have won 2 straight here, including this matchup just played a couple of nights ago with a 113-100 victory for the Lakers on the road against Sacramento here. So going to come right back and do it again here tonight. The Kings favored by 6.5 in this one. It was 4.5 in that last game, but the Lakers got the stunner in that game. So can the Kings bounce back and get this one here? You have 2 teams that are playing some unders here for the most part. The Lakers are 4-8 to the under as an underdog and 2-8 to the under in their last 10. Last game did go well under at 213. It was 230. Here it's 227 in this one. So I'm coming right back with the under in this game. I would think the Kings could come back and get the win here. We'll see what the Lakers do with their personnel. Of course, there is issues here. You have LeBron questionable in this one. It does look like he will take this one off. AD is questionable with an elbow this time. I mean, this guy, poor guy here, but Hachimura is probable in this one. So give me the under here with the Lakers and the Kings tonight. Here's Justin. Sports money is money. Jermaine might be liking the Flyers today. I'm in the NBA here. Oh, let's see, might have one here. Robert's on the Kings. There it is. He's on the Kings. Heat and Magic in this one. Look, I think I've already given out my play in this game, so we don't have to spend too long on it here. But Orlando's on a 3-game losing streak, and the Heat are on a 2-game losing streak in this one right now. So I'll just take the under, I guess. It's Orlando that's 6-12 to the under as a favorite so far this season. Miami's been a over team for the most part here of late. So we'll see. But look, we've been kind of picking on Orlando a little bit with these unders. They've gone under in their last two games and have been trending under quite a bit for the most part. Still, 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Miami's won 14 of the last 19 games in this series, but Orlando's 9-1 against the spread their last 10 games at home, and they're also 17-2 last 19 games straight up at home. So in a series where Miami used to have it their way, but Miami lost to Orlando in the last matchup 116-97 at Miami. So I'm going to end up here on the under as my play with the Heat and the Magic. See what we got here. Anything Thomas Bird is liking a Sabonis action with the Kings. And Jermaine had a prop with the Lakers. I might be lapping you guys here with going a little bit fast, but with all these games here, Cash Kane says Orlando gets the money. Here's Robert on Orlando as well. Here's Magic and under for Thomas. Here's an under for Jermaine. Lots of Magic here. Thomas likes the Magic as well. Magic might be our first consensus play, it feels like here. Philly Eagle Flyer had Villa. And Jimmy Buckets left that game here. We're seeing a big move to the under right now. I know I just gave it out. I know we said the steam came in on it, but man, it's down to 207 in a lot of places right now here, Miami and Orlando here today. We'll see. Jimmy Butler is questionable with a illness here. Adebayo has probable. Franz Wagner's still out for Orlando. Yep, got to be Thomas consensus play here for Orlando. Look, I'm with you guys in this one, so we could just chalk it up as a consensus play here. We need to get a few of them somewhere, and we have to go to the NBA to do it. We will. So I like it too, though. I like Orlando probably in this one. Look, this home court edge right now for Orlando has to be recognized. All right. Next up, we got Steam, but let's get through these a little bit.
Steam play.
Grizzlies and Hawks here. Yeah, I thought we'd preview this one too. You got the Grizzlies here, a road favorite here right now, but the Hawks obviously been playing pretty well. We talked about it. Now they have lost 3 of their last 4 all of a sudden, maybe off a little bit of a high from that NBA Cup, even though they lost that big game to Milwaukee. And then they came back and they didn't look good against San Antonio in that next game here. But if you look at this game having moved here now to Memphis, just a 1.5 point favorite, I think the Hawks are probably going to win this game. I think you got to respect the move here on this one. You got a 19-9 Memphis team. They're obviously pretty good. They're terrific, right? They're 14-6-1 as a favorite against the spread, 7-4-1 on the road against the spread. Atlanta just 4-9 at home against the spread, but 8-6 against the spread as an underdog. So I think this one's tricky. I'm going to take Atlanta here. I think, the total's 241, and look, this one, it should be through the roof, right? Actually, now can't really recommend much about Atlanta on the spread other than, I think the move is probably right. But you look at the total here, 35-21 to the over for these two teams. Atlanta's 10-3 to the over at home, and it's all the way up to 241 here. It does feel like it's going to go over as well. I'm thinking about using it as a premium. It's pretty high, but it seems like this one could be 250 tonight with the Grizzlies and the Hawks here. Last time here, let me see here. Oh, it was an ugly one actually at Memphis. But last time here in Atlanta, Memphis 125, 119, about exactly a year ago. They played the same road trip, kind of. Memphis came in here on December 23rd of last year, won the game 125, 119 for 244 points in that one. So that over is pretty good, but I'm going to take the Hawks here. Let me update it on screen, make sure we know what's totally going on here. It's the total's not 24 either, right, guys? Let me get that right here. I'll put 241 because I kind of like it over, but I'm going to take the Hawks here. I think it's a little bit tricky. Maybe it's a trap game, but I'm going to take the Hawks here in this one. Morant is doubtful, but I think we knew that. I mean, the early report was he was going to miss the game. Trae Young is questionable, but I expect him to be in there. Marcus Smart also questionable in this game. I'm taking the Hawks tonight. Hawks are 7-6 at home. They should be better. They really should. They've been a different. Yeah, Robert. It feels like a market play here. Lay it with the Grizzlies though for cash gain. Can't argue it here if you're a trend. Look, I'm Mr. Trend. The trends pretty much heavily point to the Grizzlies here. Like I said though, Atlanta, I think 8-6 is a dog. Gives them a little bit of. They might be a favorite by the time this game goes off, but. All right, I don't know if they'll really be a favorite. Johnny says go over in this one. I kind of want to just give it out now but I think it could be a premium. I'm going to save it here. I'm going to look at a few more things in the game, but I'm not worried about Ja. I think it's a high scoring game for sure. You got two of the highest over teams around right now. So Elliott on the Grizzlies and over here. I know Grizzlies are going to be popular, more popular, I think, in that one. Knicks and Pelicans here in this one. So you got the Knicks, pretty big favorite here on the road, an 8-point favorite against the Pelicans in this one. And Pelicans here on a losing streak right now again here. New York has gone 5-1 straight up, their last 6 on the road, but they are a big favorite here by 8 against the Pelicans. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. You have the Pelicans here. They're actually 7-6 against the spread at home, which for a team that really doesn't cover the spread at all on the road, they're 3-12 against the spread on the road, but 7-6 at home. So might be trying to go under here in this one with the Knicks and the Pelicans tonight. They have New Orleans going over in 5 of their last 7 games overall. But with this series here coming in, the Knicks, look, they should win this game. They should cover. They should win by double digits here. I do like the Knicks. Let me see here at minus. Yeah, they feel like they're -8 or so right now. I guess I've already committed to the under in this game. But the Knicks are 9-6 to the over on the road. But like I said, series history, I know that this is an twice a year series only. But again, this is kind of a trip that the Knicks kind of make in here. And you look at last trip in here, 96-87, Pelicans actually got the win. We know it's a different Pelicans situation here right now. These two teams already met in New York a couple weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, it was 118-85. The Knicks won easily as a 12.5-point favorite, but it was only 203 points scored in that game. The total was 224 on that night. So give me the under here in this one with the Knicks and the Pelicans. Might have some picks from the chat here in this one with Thomas going on the Knicks here. Elliot says the Pelicans aren't covering much of anything here right now. Elliot's going with the Knicks. And Thomas says, got the Knicks. They don't have to go full speed with certain teams. They can pace it down here against the Pelicans, he's saying. Elliott goes under Fernando leaning under. Jermaine's going over. Robert says Nixon under. I'm going Nixon under. I'm going under here for sure. I think I agree with that. I'm thinking about using the Knicks here today. Here's the Warriors taking on the Timberwolves in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game with the Warriors and the Timberwolves. And I think we've seen some unders here of late. Golden State's gone under in 5 straight games on the road here right now. But 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. But man, we're seeing this dismal situation here for the Warriors right now. 3 straight losses, a couple of really poor games here, giving up 287 points in the last 2 games. It feels like the Wolves here off of that loss against the Knicks could be primed to spring something here as a modest little favorite. Minnesota is 8-1 in their last 9 games at home against the Warriors and 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games against this team. So I'm taking the Wolves here to still make life miserable. Yes, the Warriors feel like a bounce back type of team, but right now things are spiraling here a little bit, it feels like. And yeah, the Wolves have had some spread success here of late. They're terrible against the spread at home this season with a 4-9 spread record, and the Warriors are 7-4-1 as an underdog against the spread. But that last one was pretty bad here, and I don't know. That steam to the under. Look, these two teams have both gone under in 7 of their last 10 games, and I think they trend under for the most part. It's only the series history that feels like it's gone over. I'm taking the Timberwolves here at -4 here. It's actually -3 everywhere. So the move has been to the Warriors here. That might be, look, the Warrior. If any team's entitled for a bounce back here, Thomas says we've got a consensus play back there on the Knicks. So, okay, I got you. That works here. And Jermaine liking the Warriors on the bounce back. Thomas likes the Wolves here. And, man, it was just a bad, Curry just couldn't get anything going. Elliott likes the over, though. Aditya, I think, says Curry, these are the games he bounces back big time. And Jermaine says, I think Dre under. He's been going under a lot with Dre. Robert likes the Wolves here. I kind of want to use the Wolves as a premium, but that total has me a little bit perplexed. I mean, I want to go under for sure. And Jermaine says the Timberwolves really aren't that anything special. They're 14-12, but so are the Warriors. So, all right, give me the Timberwolves here. I think they can get one here on the Warriors, but maybe it's a bounce back here. All right, and there you go. Elliott says the Wolves have covered the spread in 9 of their last 10 games against the Warriors. I think that's what that said. 76ers and Cavs here in this one. The Cavs coming off of a big win. We had them last night, so they are on the back-to-back. But, yeah, we had them laying that big price. We had the Cavs to beat up the Bucks there a little bit with that high off of the NBA Cup there, it felt like. So Cleveland's terrific at home, man. 12-4 against the spread right now. They're laying big number here, we know, to Philadelphia, but Philly has some issues of their own coming into this game. The spread is actually down to 11, 10.5 at some spots. So the move has been here on Philly. Embiid is definitely out of this game by all accounts here tonight, and Paul George is probably expected to rest here a little bit. So it is going to be a little bit of a tough one for Philly, but they've covered a few here with this lineup that goes out there. But I don't know, Cleveland, it's usually no, take no mercy. And the fact that maybe, just maybe, with yesterday, Philly in the game against the Hornets, we did go with the Hornets plus 10. It landed 10 yesterday for the most part. And it was an under for sure yesterday in that game. So I'm going to take the Cavs here to roll in this one against the Sixers. The Cavs, it doesn't matter. They just like to take it down here. And if anything, it feels like to me, yes, the move is on the Sixers, but maybe it's giving the Cavs a chance here, a little bit in the range now at 10.5 at some spots. I'm going to take the Cavaliers to roll tonight. Let's see here. But Jermaine is on the Sixers, but Thomas is on the Cavs. Robert likes the over, and so does Elliott. Also, Cash Kane likes the Cavs to lay it, and Fernando's going under here in this one. All right, I'm going to take the Cavs tonight. All right, and the Bucks are right back in action. They're going up against the Wizards in this one. And yeah, I mean, I get it. Maybe the Bucks, they could roll here a little bit, but man, this spread actually it's down to 11.5, I think, here. And right now, there's still some 12s out there, but I don't know. The move is on the Bucks here a little bit and with this one. So the Bucks aren't the greatest cover in the world when laying some big numbers. Now they have played much, much better of late, despite what happened last night against the Cavs. They covered, of course, beating up on the Thunder in the NBA Cup final, and they covered against Atlanta as well. But I don't know here. I might want to try the Wizards now. It's just tough because the Wizards aren't doing much of anything, but they've covered 3 games in a row here, including a win over Charlotte. They covered against Boston. They covered against Cleveland. Those kind of teams kind of sound like the Bucks a little bit. Boston and Cleveland do, right? Top teams for the most part. Better teams anyway. Bucks aren't up there with those teams, but the Bucks have gotten plenty of attention here with their recent surge back to credibility here. It feels like they're 14-12 right now. So I'm not going to give them out as a premium, but give me the Wizards here, plus 11 tonight against the Bucks in this one. We'll see if the Bucks, you could look at this game and say, hey, we could give Damian Lillard some rest here. He is questionable with that calf injury. Kuzma's out. We know that here, but I'm going to try the Wizards here tonight against the Bucks with these points. It's going to be an ugly play, but I got to do it. Elliott says the Cavs have been strong offensively as well. And Robert likes the under in this one. All right, let's go now. Next up, one more comment there, I think. Elliott's on the under here as well. All right, now here we go. Celtics and Bulls. We had this one right last time. We told Nate, look, if one team, it seems that I have, I have a few teams zeroed in for sure, but, it seems like we know what we're doing when it comes to betting the Boston Celtics. Now, these teams are coming right back to play one another after the 117-108 game. The Bulls won the other night. It was at Boston. Now they're at Chicago here. The one game ended up going way under, actually. The Bulls took the steam here in this one, but it's gone all the way back up to 11.5 here right now, as if the Celtics are looking to get back a little bit at the Bulls. And the Celtics are that type of team. They like to, I don't think they like to. I don't think it's by design or anything, but it just seems like the Bucks are the type of team that, a bounce back type of team. Chicago's failed to cover the spread in 4 straight as a dog. Let's see here. Let me get it right on the trend here. Bucks Bulls 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10. The Celtics just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. But man, I want to come back on the Celtics here and think they can get this one. I just was a little bit stunned that it was back up to 11.5. After all, the Bulls were the ones that took the steam. It went all the way down to I don't want to say 10.5 or so, but now it's up to 11.5 or 12 even at some of the square books right now. So I'm taking the Celtics here to come back and roll the Bulls here tonight and clobber them here. The Bulls are 14-9 to the over as an underdog. The Celtics are 4-8 to the under on the road. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Celtics as the play. Let's see if you guys have anything here. Is this the tough one of the night? All right, let's see here. Justin likes the Celtics in the first half. And Thomas says he'll take the Celtics by 20. And like I said, I mean, obviously the last match. Look, the Celtics are a team that right now in some of the games, right, like I said, we were on the Bulls in that game. They won the game straight up. But they just seem to, pick their spots. All right, here's Celtics first half. Team total over for Robert. I'm going to take the Celtics. Here's the Trailblazers taking on the Spurs in this one. You got the Spurs here coming in 14-13. The Blazers just 9-18 here right now in this one. The Spurs are a 6.5 point favorite. The total currently at 227. The Blazers ended that losing streak with a win last time out against the Nuggets at home as an 8.5 point dog. So the Blazers continue to pop up here once in a while and get a little surprise. They are 15-10-1 against the spread as an underdog, and the Blazers have been a little bit better against the spread of late than the Spurs. The Spurs have failed to cover in 7 of their last 10 games overall. Now, Portland is 4-9-1 to the under on the road here. Some of these games have gone over in this series. The last 2, as a matter of fact, have gone over this season. It was Portland losing 118-116 to the Spurs. The Spurs were a 3.5 point favorite, though, there, and Portland got the money. But the last game here was 118-105. San Antonio kind of crushed them there, but it did end up going over the total, but under this number. So the total that night was 217.5, finished 223, but tonight it's 227. So I'm going to take the under, actually, in the game between the Blazers and the Spurs here tonight. Now, San Antonio has been going over in that favorite role. They're 8-2 to the over as a favorite. I'm still taking the under in this one. All right. We're going to get you caught up on some college basketball team and preview the NHL still and college basketball. Oh, my gosh. How are we going to manage this? Let's see here. Nasty Nate is on the Celtics second quarter here tonight. Thomas likes the Blazers here in this one. Couple more here in the NBA. The Clippers are taking on the Mavericks here. Mavericks at home are favored by 3.5, and the total is at 220. In fact, it's gone up to 4 here at some spots right now as the Mavericks continue to maybe take the action here. The steam came in on the Clippers, but the move's starting to come in on Dallas, and I think that's what I'm going to end up here on already in this one. We've used the under here on a lot of these games here with the Clippers and Dallas at home, especially. Dallas 4-8 to the under at home. Clippers 4-7-1 to the under on the road. Both teams are very, very solid covers this season. Clippers 8-3. Against the spread on the 8-4 against the spread on the road, but I like Dallas here in this one. There are some injuries here to report tonight. Luka certainly is going to be out here, it feels like, in this one, but Kyrie is probable, and I'm going to take Dallas tonight without Luka here. Clippers have done a nice job, but the moves on Dallas, that says a lot to me, and I will take Dallas here tonight. That total, it's moved a little bit to the under. I'm probably going to use that tonight. I hope it doesn't go down too much further. It feels like it will. All right, couple comments from the chat. Maybe in this one. And we'll say the Las Vegas Spear is here today. Great to have Las Vegas Spear. Who is that though? Las Vegas Spear, because I remember that cool avatar, but they've changed their name here. I can't remember now. Nice to have you though. C. James, hello. Justin says, I already bet it. Fernando's on the Mavs. Robert says the over. And hello to Nunya. Thomas Bird has some props as well. All right, I'm on the Mavs. Almost a consensus. Probably could use another one, though. But I don't see many on the Clippers. But maybe not quite there. Maybe not quite enough support. All right, last NBA game here. Detroit taking on Phoenix in this one. You've got Phoenix, a 6.5-point favorite. Here, Phoenix has won 2 of their last 3, but they're off of a loss against Indiana at home, 120-111. Detroit lost to Utah at home of late, but Detroit comes in here 11-8-1 against the spread as an underdog. Phoenix is a terrible favorite. They're 4-10 at home against the spread, so I'll probably want to take Detroit here in this one plus the points. It's down to 6 here, actually. Total 224.5 in this one. Maybe these teams have trended over a little bit, but Phoenix 5-9 to the under at home. Detroit, even though they've gone over in 7 of their last 10, they are 7-8 to the under on the road here in this one. And if you look at kind of the trend overall, Phoenix under in 4 straight games currently at home. So give me Detroit here in this one plus 6 here tonight. I'll take the Pistons on the road. The Suns are a bad home cover, it feels like. All right. Cash Kane says the Suns roll. Thomas likes Detroit. I like Detroit. And Robert says Pistons and under here. I think that's probably the way I got to look at this one. That's it for the NBA, I guess, here tonight. So let's get over to the NHL and keep the show. Let's do the college steam that came in here. I know I'm killing us with, I like to interrupt, but it is going to help the show go a little bit faster tonight if we just kind of lump the steam together in these segments right now. So let's look at more games. Remember, we're not going to look at all the college games. So the best we can do is kind of give out the moves here a little bit, and you can read and react if you want to these moves. All right, here we go. Queens College and Mississippi. We're seeing steam to the over with Queens here against Ole Miss. In this one, it was 152. It looks like it's going to go all the way up to 154 or so here. Steam to the over. Queens against Ole Miss. Steam to the over in that one. Also, UC San Diego and the University of San Diego. I'll tell you what, University of San Diego has dominated this series, but that was then. This is now UCSD is the better team here for sure at this point. Steam to the over here, though. It was 142. This one's going to make it, I think, all the way to 144 here. We've seen some unders with these two teams so far, I believe, this season. But Steam is to the over here, 142, moving up, I think, as high as 144 here right now. Like I said, USD has owned their matchup with UC San Diego, but we've seen UC San Diego obviously strong improvement this year right now, and USD's had their share of problems here so far. All right.
Steam play.
Oh, it's almost going too fast for us here. Here's some steam here. Tennessee Martin and Southern Indiana. Steam to the under here. It was 145 down to 144 here or lower right now with Tennessee Martin and Southern Indiana. Tennessee Martin already took the steam in the matchup here. I think they went from 4 maybe down to 3.5. Steam here. Tennessee Martin, Southern Indiana under, and there was steam to Tennessee Martin as well. Virginia Tech and St. Joseph's here. This one's near the top of the board. I have a premium pick on the side in this game, but there was steam to the under here at 143. It's down to 142 here right now with Virginia Tech and St. Joe's. That one's being played as part of the that's being played at the Palestra today in Philly. Arizona State and UMass. We saw some steam to the under in this one with Arizona State and UMass. It was 152. It's down to 151 now. Arizona State and UMass steam to the under. That one's being played in Springfield, Mass. Here, so not on Massachusetts home court, but pseudo home court here in that one. Also, Pitt took some steam in their matchup against Sam Houston. Pitt was 16.5, but they're now 17.5 here in this one. Pittsburgh taking the steam here. And we've got a job recruiter sending me, if you've got any job for handicappers in the closet, I guess, well, whatever. In the basement, maybe I should say.
Final.
In the satellite studios. All right, North Florida and Florida. This one's an early start here, right? So we better touch on this one. This one's a noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Steam to the over here. This is actually the high total of the day. Steam to the over here was 170. It's all the way up to 172.5 or 173. North Florida and Florida. Florida already got steamed at 25 up to 26 or so in that one. Fairleigh Dickinson and Minnesota steam to the under here right now with Fairleigh Dickinson and Minnesota. It was 146 down to 145 here. Fairleigh Dickinson and Minnesota taking some steam here to the under just now. The Iowa Hawkeyes took some steam in their matchup tonight. Iowa taking on Utah here. This one's in at the Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the hub of exciting college basketball. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with their multiple arenas here. So Iowa here was a pick. They're up to a 1.5 point favorite or so against Utah in this one. Steam came in on Iowa in the matchup against Utah tonight in Sioux Falls. Coastal Carolina and Arkansas State steam to the under here in this one. It was 142.5 down to 141.5 or so right now with Coastal and Arkansas State. Arkansas State has covered a lot in that matchup with Coastal. They are kind of frequent opponents, obviously, with them being in the same conference. Arkansas State's had the best of it, but so far Coastal's had a few covers and Arkansas State hasn't, but still. Okay, Here, more steam. Marshall and Southern Miss. Steam to the under here in this one at 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific. Marshall's had a pretty good run of this one against Southern Miss in conference play. Steam, though, came into the under here at 148 down to 147 or so with Marshall and Southern Mississippi. All right. Lehigh took some steam in their matchup against Long Island. Lehigh was a 4-point favorite. They're probably up to 4.5 or 5 here right now with Lehigh taking the steam against Long Island. Then just seconds ago, Boston U is taking the steam here as an underdog in their matchup with UMass Lowell. It was UMass Lowell by 8.5, but looks like we're going to go down to 7.5 here right now as the steam comes in on Boston U in their matchup with Lowell. All right, Tennessee State and Morehead State. We're seeing some steam to the under. We saw some steam. These are getting pretty stale here right now in that one with Tennessee State and Morehead in that one. That's the one that the Morehead has had the run of it in the series for sure. They've had the advantage against Tennessee State in their head-to-head matchup in conference play. Steam to the under, though. We've seen some overs with Tennessee State and Morehead State so far this season, but the steam came in on the under here. It was 148.5. It's down to 147.5 or so in that one. We're almost caught up with some of that stale steam. We probably could leave this one behind a little bit, but how about IU Indianapolis and their game against Florida International? It was 9. It's probably down to 8 here right now with IU Indianapolis taking steam against Florida International. Steam already came in there on the over at 144 up to 144.5 or so with IU Indianapolis and Florida International. All right, I think that's it for now. Let's try to get to the hockey here. With this big card here in this one. So we got plenty of action here to look at. And let me just see here what we said in the chat. Good to see you guys a little bit there. I hope I didn't leave you guys too far behind. Thomas liked Cade to get a double-double there. Robert says, we've been doing well in hockey. I feel like we've hit it. And okay, I think we're good to go here. All right, the Kings are going to take on the Predators here in this one to start us off. And the Kings here, a little bit of a road favorite in this one at $1.20. The total definitely going to be low here. Oh, wow, it's 6. Oh, hello. I like this one. All right. I was going to give the under out as my play. I thought it was mostly 5.5 for the most part. Let me see here. It is. Okay. I was just looking at it wrong here. It's juiced a little bit even to the under at a few spots, the Kings here. But look, these two teams, dead solid unders for sure right now. And I would think this one has got to be headed that way as well. Kings are 5-12-1 as a favorite to the under. Nashville's 4-9 to the under as an underdog. For the Kings, they are off of the win at Philadelphia. They lit them up after that loss at Pittsburgh. So they've been alternating wins and losses here on the road. This one, you look at the line, it looks like the Predators might be able to upset the Kings. The move is definitely on the Predators here. I'm probably not going to give out the Predators, but I might bet them in this game. There's not much value left, if there was any, with the Predators here. But I'll take the under as my play. That feels solid, but I think this is Kings. Like I said, they're alternating wins and losses on the road. The Predators have been terrible, but the move is obviously on the Predators here. You'll just have to interpret it for yourself if they can get it done. They are just 1-12 straight up as an underdog so far this season, but I don't know. They're close to moving to the favorite here in this one. All right. Give me the under, though, with the Kings and the Predators. This might be a spot for the Predators, I'm feeling like here. Robert says Predators and under. Our Tom says Predators and under. These folks see hockey the way I do. All right, Sharks and Oilers here. And, well, it says 440 there at the square shops, man. We're approaching $5 here right now. I guess I could pump it up here a little bit. The Oilers, they might blast them here in this one. They're not great at covering the puck line. We know that. But let me see there. We'll call it, I don't know, call it 470 or something here. Total 6.5, maybe 6.5 flat right now. Sharks have lost 3 straight now coming in to this one. The steam came in on Edmonton. I get that here, but I don't know. I don't think that Edmonton really is all that as far as getting the numbers every time, even against the Sharks. We know the Sharks have been okay in some spots getting the puck line, but then again, they have some flat spots too. So let's see if you guys have anything here in this one. A little bit tricky. Probably could have left this one off the board at minus 440 on a day like today, but it is an early game. There's only a couple of afternoon games here today in this one. And you do have Edmonton here, or let's see. Let me get this right on the San Jose puck line. 23-12 is a puck line dog. Edmonton 9-19 is a puck line favorite here, but Steam can. I'm going to take the over in this one. These two teams don't show a lot of overs this season. In fact, they're almost even overs and unders all the way. But San Jose here, I think it goes over a lot against Edmonton. Haven't met yet this season. Last meeting was 9-2 Edmonton. They've really been clobbering them in a lot of these games, man, no doubt about it. But many of them were at home, just like this. I'll take the over as my play. I'm not going to give out Edmonton here as a puck line play. They are minus 1.5 currently at minus $1.65. So give me the over in this one with San Jose and Edmonton. All right, Robert goes over as well. Johnny says it's a late 2.5 here. Johnny also Edmonton first period puck line. Philly Eagle Flyer says Oilers money line, team total over 3.5 and a prop here on Hyman. R. Tom says Sharks puck line and over. All right, next up, the Blackhawks are taking on the Flames here. I'm not even using the goalie computer because we got so many games. We got to go so fast, but hopefully got some great plays here. Still, I probably got to take a favorite here. Calgary's lost 2 straight. Chicago's won 3 straight, but still Calgary 11-4 at home this season. They've been profitable, about a quarter of a unit at home every game. Blackhawks, they dropped 0.2 of a unit still. They've won 3 straight, beat Seattle, beat Washington, beat the Islanders. Blackhawks about as hot as they've been here right now, but I'm going to take the Calgary Flames here at minus $1.65 or so in this one. In fact, if anything, it's gone even a little bit north of this, or however you want to look at it. Calgary down to $1.55, but some of the sharp books here right now. 2 teams that definitely going under. Chicago 5-12-1 to the under on the road. Calgary's gone under in 7 of their last 10. I'm taking Calgary though to win. Maybe it's an okay price for a team that usually plays well at home. It's just that they've lost these last 2. It was to Ottawa and to Boston, both games at home, but they did beat Florida at home before that. All right. Let's see here. Philly Eagle Flyer says the Hawks will get another one here today. Our Tom likes the under in this one. So does Robert. And so does Philly Eagle Flyer. Wow, 3 unders in a row. We almost got a consensus there with that one. Maybe Robert likes the Blackhawks. Okay. All right, I'm taking the Flames, but I like you guys liking that under because I might like it too. Almost a consensus there. Here we go. Red Wings on the road here, taking on the Habs on this one. NHL Network game of the night. Detroit just a minus $1.20 favorite here. Look, they're 13, 15, and 4. Montreal 13, 16, and 3. So maybe Montreal could be in position to win this one. They are 9 and 7 at home this season. Detroit just 1 and 4 on the road here right now. Detroit's 4 and 1 to the over as a favorite. Montreal 16, 11, and 2 to the over as an underdog. So I'm going to try Montreal here at even money to beat Detroit. I know Detroit has had some success here, but Montreal won the meeting so far this year at Detroit 4-3. So I'm going to try my Habs here at home in this one. I've got to turn around. I know we said we're hot in hockey, but we're hot in hockey with the premiums. On the show, could be better, it feels like, for me personally with the picks here. But Montreal, they are not good on the back-to-back here. They played, let's see, what was it last night? 4-3 in this game, right? Where's the score of the game from last night with these guys? I know because Joe had the over. Joe had the over in this game last night. Good job, Joe. Because I know I was on Detroit, I believe, in the game 4-3. Okay, I'm gonna take the Canadians here to win this one tonight. Last night's game was at Detroit, so we're turning around here, going back to Montreal, and I know Montreal got the win. I'm going to take them again, though. All right, I really want this total, though. I think I'm going to be. Look, it was 4-3 last night. They've gone over in 4 straight meetings with these two teams, and they're totally in the role that they go over in. So I think it's a premium there. All right, let's see here. Robert's on Montreal here in this one. Oh, I missed Bill Eagles flyer play there on that game. Sorry about that. Robert's on the over. Our Thompson's on the under. And I think that might be it in this one. I'll take Montreal here in this one. We got to keep it moving, gang. You're doing a great job in the chat. Blue Jackets and Flyers here in this one. The Flyers, $1.50. And the total here, 6.5, shaded to the under here for sure in this one with Urson and Merzlikins. Trying to see if we had any expected goalies in there yet. Let's see here. Okay, Urson is one of the expected goalies here in this one. You have Philadelphia. They've lost 3 straight right now to LA, to Detroit, to Minnesota. Of course, Columbus is off of a win. They ended that losing streak and picked up a win last time out. Now, here's 2 teams that definitely go over quite a bit here this season. You have Columbus 21, 11, and 1 to the over this season, including quite often as an underdog. But, man, I don't know. Is the total 6.5 yet? It is, right? I'm going to try the under in this game. These 2 teams are very solid overs. I get that. And they've gone over in each of their last 2 games. They went over just 10 days ago in a 5-3 Philadelphia win at Columbus, but I'm going to go a little bit contrarian. I feel like here, and I'm going to take the under here in this one. Oh, I can't. Here we go. I think I had my notes on it that I don't want to wait too long on this one, but let's see here. All right, I can't keep you guys. I'm gonna go under here in this one. I just know that when you have these division games in this matchup, for I know they went over the last two, but Flyers have been going under in the division games for sure here right now. 7-9-1 to the under at home. I just expected it to come six juice to the over, and if it's 6.5, I'm going under. So it's not a solid opinion, but all right. Blackhawks under was a consensus. Thank you, Thomas. We could use another one there, right? I think that's 3. So that's cool. A 3-teamer would be fine. Maybe we can get another one. Spear says they got to go Columbus over every time right now. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over here. Has to be the spot for the Flyers. Art Tomps likes the under with me in this one. I agree. Columbus goes over every time, but Philly goes under in division games, it feels like. All right. Robert here on the under. And I think Jermaine likes Philly here in this one. All right. Keep it going. We're hurrying. Here's the Wild going up against the Jets here in this one. And I think we're going to get, you see there with Jesper Wallstedt. He's going to make his second appearance here. Wallstedt 0-1 with an 89% save percentage and a 3.1 goals again. Well, he gave up 3 goals there is what happened when he was pulled from the game late in that loss. So Wallstedt gets a start here for the Wild going up against Hellebuck here in this one, 20-5 here. I think it's going to be a big advantage for Winnipeg. I know it's laying a pretty big price here, but it is down to 165 at some of the books right now. DraftKings is still $1.75. I'm going to take a big favorite here with the Jets on this money line here at $1.75. I'll take the Jets. Minnesota's actually lost 3 straight here right now to Utah, Florida, and Vegas. Tough schedule. This doesn't get much easier, but you do have Minnesota 4-7 straight up as an underdog this season, where they've been so good, 12-2 on the road straight up, but still as an underdog, not so great. They have been underdog in games at home this season, so I got to take the Jets here, even laying the price, and I'll do it on the show, of course. I'm not going to give out a premium there, but I do like the Jets. So does Jermaine, likes them on the puck line. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Jets. And R. Toms likes the Jets as well. Penguins and the Devils here in this one. Devils are going to be a big favorite, -235. Devils have not been a winning proposition at home this season, so I don't know, pretty dicey number here, it looks like to me in this one. Devils have won 3 of their last 4 games, but they lost to Columbus last time out, 4-2. Pittsburgh with wins here of late over Nashville, over LA. They've covered the puck line as a dog here in 3 straight games and look pretty decent here of late. These 2 teams have not met yet this season. Devils have been a solid under of late, going under in 7 of their last 10, and they're 11-17-1 to the under as a favorite. Looks like here Yari and Markstrom likely, it feels like, in goal in this one. Look, I think for me, when you look at these 2 teams, I'm feeling like there's been some unders here for the most part. Like I said, Pittsburgh is 9-7 to the over on the road, but Winnipeg, another division game here. You see the total here. Oops. Got a little sidetracked. I said the Winnipeg game, and that's, well, true. I think I just gave out the premium there. That's okay. I don't think anybody caught it because I was rambling there a little bit. All right, here we go. New Jersey here under in 7 straight, I believe, here, right? Maybe 8 straight. Might be 7-1 to the under here a little bit of late. And that total at still 6.5. There's 6 over 20 at the sharp books right now. Final. And you can grade me at 6 over 20. I'll take the under here in this one. It does feel like the move is coming slowly but surely on the under as the Devils continue to play these unders here at home. And Pittsburgh probably could be live here in this one, even though the Devils are the much better team here. But at 235, I might look to a puck line with the Penguins. All right, here we go.
Team play.
With our Thompson is on the Penguins in that one. And Thomas said, do you think we should have the Jets in there? I don't know. It was 3 or 4-0 if I was on them. Let's see here. Oilers team total over here for Philly Eagle Flyer. And Vegas money line.
Final.
And I think Spear is saying maybe you could put him in there at $1.75, trying to help. We're 0-36, so it feels like you guys are making fun of me there for saying the wrong game, I think. All right, I'll keep it moving here right now. I'll take the under in Pittsburgh and New Jersey. Maybe I'm going too fast here at this point. All right. Ottawa taking on Vancouver here. Ottawa's been hot, man. Ottawa's been hot. They've been doing it for us a little bit, getting us some money here with this big-time winning streak. Now, they beat Calgary 3-2 last time out. As they come in here right now on a roll. The Senators cruising here at this point. Vancouver here. Whoops. There we go. Vancouver here, a favorite at $1.30, and the total at 5.5. And look, Ottawa is 4-8 to the under as an underdog, 5-9-1 to the under on the road. Ottawa here. That was an overtime win the other night against Calgary, that road win, and they're on this Western swing here with wins over Seattle and Calgary here, and maybe they can do it here again tonight. It feels like Vancouver. Remember, they're, for whatever reason, they're just not as good at home. They're just 6-7 at home, despite being 16-10-6 this season. They do all their best work on the road. So I don't know. I kind of want to ride here with Ottawa again tonight, and I'm going to take them to win this game here at plus $1.10 or so. Right now, man, $1. Yeah, I think $1.10 is a fair price. I'm going to take the Senators here to keep it going right now on this hot streak at this point, especially with Vancouver can't win at home. Vancouver has been going over for the most part, but Ottawa's been doing well, and you see the total at 5.5 here. Feels like a low-scoring game for Ottawa. Here we go. Roberts on Ottawa as well. And Philly Eagle Flyer, Canucks under, maybe take the regulation draw. Our Thompson is on the under here as well. Philly Eagle Flyer says first period and full game draw. First period under 6.5 in the Ottawa and Vancouver game. Juice it up. Last matchup here with Seattle taking on the Golden Knights. And this one, the Golden Knights are making a mockery of these games, it feels like, at home right now. They are 10-5 on the puck line at home. Seattle just 2-8 on the puck line in their last 10 games. They've been favored in a few games here for sure, but Vegas here, a $2 favorite in this one. Vegas has covered the puck line in 6 straight Pacific Division games right now. So we'll see. They've been just rolling at home. One of the best home teams here in the league right now. They're up, giving you well over a third of a unit per game at home this season. I'm going to take Vegas on the puck line here tonight as my play against the Kraken. I'm going to take them to roll here in this one. Kraken are just 1-8-1 to the under in their last 10 games overall. Vegas has been showing more unders here of late at home, but they are 9-6 to the over at home this season. But I think this one could be close to a shutout. So maybe it'll be 3-1, 4-2 at most here, it feels like, with Vegas tonight. See what you guys have, if anything, here in this one with Vegas puck line here for our Tomps. And Philly Eagle Flyer. Oh, I think he was with that. I think he was showing his picks on the last game here. I hope I didn't screw that up for you. Philly Eagle Flyer. All right. Robert says Vegas in regulation here. And Philly there. Okay. Vegas.
Final.
Money line and puck line and team total over 3.5. All right. We've got a roll here with the college basketball picks. Hopefully the steam will get you through a lot of these games as well, but I've got a few picks out here in this one, right, in these games here in college basketball. But I do have 12 games up for the early session here right now, so please consider going over to winnable.com. But I got some plays here on some big-time matchups here today with Connecticut taking on Butler in this one with Connecticut. A big favorite on the road. They've really had their way with Butler in the past. Connecticut has had the best of this series here by far in recent matchups. Call up the games here. Currently favored by about, I think it's down to 8.5 or so here right now. I'll call it 9 because I'm going to take Connecticut here. The total's dropped maybe to 143.5. The steam came in on Connecticut, but the move has been on Butler here for the most part. I'm back on Connecticut here. Connecticut's back to a winning streak. They've been covering spreads. Now, they did not cover against Xavier at home last time out, but we had Xavier in that game. And Butler just 3-5 against the spread at home so far. Connecticut just 1-2 against the spread on the road, but I'm going to take Connecticut here. They've had the best of Butler in the past here, it feels like. So give me Connecticut here in this one on the road against Butler. Let me see here what that current I think we have the mark here actually. Connecticut has covered 8 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. All right, next up.
Team play.
Marquette taking on Xavier here in this one. And the steam came in on the over here in this matchup, but these two teams have mostly gone under when facing one another in this series. And they've been going under for the most part this season, especially Xavier. Xavier 2-7 to the under at home so far. Marquette 1-2 to the over on the road. Now, points wise, maybe these two teams do go over kind of this number, but I don't know. I think against one another, I think here, let's see, 154. I think that's a little bit too, I think it's higher than that right now. It is currently at, it's at 154. So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to end up here on the under with Marquette and Xavier. Xavier, these home games are going under. And you know with Coach Shaka here, yes, they're putting up some big numbers in some of these games right now. 80 against Butler, 88 against Wisconsin. But I'm going to take the under here with Marquette and Xavier. Our Tom Xavier plus the points. And let's see here. I think that's it. All right, next up here, we've got Mississippi State and Memphis. Interesting matchup here, non-conference game at Memphis here in this one. And Memphis, right now, they've already turned into an underdog here. Mississippi State on the road. The move is on Mississippi State here, as well as Ole Miss has been going right now. Mississippi State 1.5, and the total has dropped here too, 150 or so in this one on some widely reported steam. The steam also came in on Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State to come in and win this game here. I trust the move in this one with the Bulldogs on the road here at Memphis. It's Mississippi State, remember, that is. Oops, we put the line up here right now. There we go. Mississippi State with a 4-game winning streak right now. So can the Tigers tame the Bulldogs here? Mississippi State with a cover last time out. They covered 20.5 against Central Michigan. This is just their second true road game. They did cover their first one. Memphis is 5-1 against the spread as an underdog. Both teams are 7-4 against the spread this season, but I've got Mississippi State to win this one. And let's take a look. Thomas is on Memphis. R. Thompson is on Mississippi State. Louisville is going to take on Florida State here in this one. You've got Louisville here is a 1-point favorite. Let's see if that's still the case here right now. I'm showing it currently. Florida State now the favorite by 1 and the total 153. So it's definitely flip-flopped here in this one. Now, this series has been an over series for sure. I show handicappers liking Louisville. I show the steam on Louisville, but I want Florida State. This is another one where I trust the move here in this one, and I want the Seminoles at home against Louisville here in this one. You've got Florida State team. I think they've been a little bit better of the two as far as covering numbers so far this season. So Florida State 9-3, Louisville just 6-5 coming in. Yeah, Louisville did get that win over UTEP, but they didn't cover. Now they did cover against UK. They gave a nice effort, lost by 8, getting 9.5 last time out. But FSU clobbered Winthrop, covered 11.5. They clobbered Tulane, covered 11.5. They did lose and fail against NC State and LSU, but hey, we're back in conference here. The NC State game too, but notwithstanding, I'm going to take Florida State here in this one to knock off Louisville. All right, R. Thompson likes Florida State. Next up, UCLA taking on North Carolina. The Bruins have been good. It feels like so far. They've been good to the pocket, good to the money, 10-1 so far. Carolina just 6-5. This one's being played in Madison Square Garden today at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific time in this one. UCLA comes in red hot with a winning streak right now, and they've covered 3 in a row against Prairie View, against Arizona, against Oregon. But look at the spread here in this one. It's right now UCLA minus 1.5 in this game. And the total is currently at 149. Maybe it's gone down a little bit here, but look, UCLA's been good to us, but this is their trap. It feels like their trap game every single time they go into the neutral game there. Carolina's had the better of the run against UCLA. They haven't met quite often enough, it feels like. The steam came in on the under. I'm just going to take the under here in this one. I have a feeling Carolina could knock them off. UCLA has been the far better cover so far. They're 8-3 against the spread. North Carolina just 4-7 against the spread overall. Buffalo Sabres are taking some steam right now in their game against Boston today. Boston was $1.75, but they're going to be down to $1.70 or $1.65. The Sabres are taking steam here right now. Also, I'll mention this. There's some big time steam coming in on SMU and Boston College. Now, I sent this game out as part of my premium pick. I said go under this game at 146.5, but it's going much lower than that right now. It's going down to 145.5 or lower. I sent it out a couple hours ago for sure before the show, liking the under in the game between SMU and Boston College. Steam is coming in on that under right now. All right, we're almost done with the show. I got to get rolling with some bets. Hopefully you guys are going to have a great day as well. Robert McCormick's on the Tar Heels here. Elliott's on the Tar Heels as well. Thomas still likes UCLA here. All right. I think that's going to do it for that one. Here we got next up Villanova taking on Creighton here in this one. You've got Creighton, a favorite here by 4.5 or so. This one's at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific time. And this one with Creighton coming in 7-5. Villanova currently at 8-4. Villanova right now is a 4.5 point dog. The total is down here definitely to 143.5. A little bit of movement here to the under in this one. Take a look at some of the numbers here with Villanova right now. They've been so hot. This is only their third time as an underdog this season. They've covered in both of those games. Creighton's just 4-8 against the spread so far this season, 2-7 against the spread as a favorite here. But it feels like it's actually going to be a pretty tough game here for Villanova, and I'm going to lay it with Creighton minus 4.5, despite some of these bad trends here in this one. I'm going to try Creighton here at home against Villanova in this one, minus 4.5. Far the total is concerned here, Villanova is 9-2-1 to the over this year, but Creighton is 4-8-1 to the under. And I think that's going to do it for the info on that game. We really got to go see if you have anything here. Roberts on Villanova. Las Vegas Sphere likes them by 2 points in a high-scoring game. Purdue and Auburn in this one. Definitely worth a mention here with Auburn. Big favorite, of course, at -9 right now, but a tough opponent. Purdue coming in 8-3. They're in the top 20 here currently, so should be a pretty good game. This one being played in Birmingham, Alabama. The widely reported steam did come in on the Auburn Tigers here in this one. This kind of feels like the game of the day. Auburn favored by 9, total 149 here. I gotta like Auburn to smash them today in this one. I think Auburn can roll here. They've won and covered 3 straight against Georgia State, against Ohio State, and against Richmond. Meanwhile, Purdue's failed to cover in 3 of their last 4. They're just 1-3 against the spread away from home. Auburn 7-1-1 against the spread as a favorite. Spread's gone up here a little bit for sure from 7 to 9. I'll take Auburn to continue to roll here with War Eagle. R. Thompson is on Auburn. Thomas is on Auburn. Ramon's on Auburn. Roberts on Auburn. The team is on Auburn. That probably is a consensus play. I mean, these are the 4 people we have making picks pretty much. So give me Auburn here as well. All right, here we go. Next up, Ohio State taking on Kentucky. Well, I know the Buckeye fans going to have their attention elsewhere today, but I don't handicap the games like that. Some people do and say, why will the fans even, why will, I mean, I don't know, the game's or it's not at Kentucky, actually. This one's being played as the second one of the doubleheader in New York today. So you definitely will have some Buckeye fans there and Kentucky fans, maybe feeling more a little bit like a Kentucky crowd, but still, I think for the most part, Kentucky 8.5 here and 160. Kentucky comes in fourth ranked in the country at 10-1 on a 3-game winning streak here right now with wins over Louisville and Colgate, but they didn't cover the spread in those. They did win and cover, of course, against Gonzaga as an underdog here recently. Ohio State just 1-3 against the spread as an underdog here in this one. UK is 7-4 to the over so far, but OSU 1-3 to the under as an underdog in this one. This one feels like the tough matchup of the day for me out of the ones that I picked. So maybe I'm going to wait to see what the chat does, if anything, here in this game with Ohio State and Kentucky. This one's at 5:30 Eastern and 2:30 Pacific time. Here, running up against some pretty stiff competition television wise, but see if you guys have anything here with this one. Kentucky, man, this line's getting a little bit high, but they might be able to roll the Buckeyes here. I'm going to take Kentucky minus 8.5 or so in this one. Kentucky to roll. R. Thompson's on. There it is. Consensus play on Auburn there.
Steam play.
There we go. All right. Also, here's R. Thompson on Ohio State. Thomas is on Kentucky. Roberts on Ohio State. And Las Vegas Spear likes Ohio State and the over. What was Las Vegas Spear's name before? I'm trying to remember. I really liked that McDonald's. All right, here we go. We just mentioned this game, right, with the steam that came in on Iowa here in their matchup against Utah. Utah is 8-2. Iowa is 8-3. This game's being played in Sioux Falls here in this one at the Sanford Pentagon, my favorite arena. All right, Utah here with wins over Florida A&M and Radford, but they failed to cover in 4 straight games. Iowa, meanwhile, been looking pretty decent. They just blew out New Orleans as a 30.5 point favorite with an easy win. Yeah, they lost against Iowa State, but I'm going to take Iowa here to win this one against Utah in this one. Yeah, maybe it's a pseudo home game here a little bit for Iowa. I'll take them here at -2. Yeah, -2 or so. The total 163.5. Is that it? I think that's it for the show. I think I've done as much damage as I can do. I think there was some steam that came in on some nice games here, and then we'll do the drawing and get out of here. All right, top of the hour, Duke and Georgia Tech. Here's another one. I'm going to do this. Look, I have a dozen games in that first college basketball package. You can go pick it up right now, and I've been pretty hot, but this is one of the games that I moved on. Duke and Georgia Tech. Game total moving under here. Steam came in on the under. I think I sent it out on the at 144, but we're looking at 143 or so here. I was on the move early in this one. Duke and Georgia Tech steam to the under, well, with 2 teams that have definitely been going under here for sure right now this season with Duke and Georgia Tech. I've got the under as a premium play, and the steam just came in on the under as well in that game. So a little bit of a preview, maybe get those games for just $2 today over there if you get that package of games, or get all my plays today for $4. But you got Duke here 3-8 to the under so far. this season, 0-3 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, Georgia Tech 0-5 to the under as an underdog. So I went under in that game. All right, I think that's going to do it, unless I can track down a little bit more steam here real quick. There was some with Evan. All right, I'm going to do one more here. I gave out the under on my package here today in Evansville and Ball State at 139.5, and we're seeing it get steamed to the under here. It's still around that number right now, but I definitely went under in this game with Evansville and Ball State. I will say, though, these two teams have mostly played overs when they've faced one another, but my numbers had this one coming in lower than this, closer to 135. I felt it worthy of a premium play with Evansville and Ball State, and I put that out there. All right, a little bit more steam, and then we're going to do the drawing here, but Utah Valley and Weber State game total here moving under right now. It was 142 down to 141 right now. We talked about Weber State taking the steam and how they've dominated kind of that series against Utah Valley. The steam came in on the under. Also here, let's see real quick. I think I have Villanova and Creighton. Steam came in on the under. We talked about Creighton. I gave out Creighton as my play. The steam came in on the under. It was 145.5. Looks like we're looking at 144 or so here right now with Villanova and Creighton here. Steam to the under in this one with Villanova and Creighton. I will note, let me see here. I don't think I have the right notes for that. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Let's see here. Thomas is showing the games here with Orlando Magic spread, New York Knicks under, Blackhawks, and Auburn. Thank you, Thomas. Good job. Our Tom's talking about women's action here today with well, I don't know if necessarily these are, it feels like at USC, certainly. I mean, you got to like what USC's doing right now. It does feel like they are among the elite teams here at this point. They've worked their way, it feels like, up to that status here is what it feels like. And when you're taking on Connecticut here in that big game, wow, that sounds awesome here today.
Final.
I actually haven't seen the line, so I don't know if I'm at liberty to comment, but I mean, you got to like what USC is doing. All right, is that game today? Is it today? I thought it was tomorrow.
Final.
Okay. That's it for the show here. See if I can get any more steam plays here. And we're going to do the drawing. Virginia Tech took some steam here.
Final.
Just moments ago in their game against St. Joseph's. I mention it because now I've given away half of that card that I'm have posted over at Winnable. I said, take Virginia Tech against St. Joseph's. Doesn't mean it's a winner. I'm just saying the line's moving here. I think I gave it out at Virginia Tech +4. I think it's down to like 3 or 2.5 here right now. Virginia Tech taking the steam. Things are blowing up here right now. And so I think we got to wrap up the show, get the drawing done, and let everybody go on about their day. Let's have a great day with the college football playoff ready to go here. Bunch of games about to start. Let's just go to the drawing.
Final.
This rest of this steam is pretty stale. I'm not going to be able to help you too much. All right, let's go to the drawing first. Go get my college basketball plays over at Winnable if you want to get I gave you 4 of them already. You can go get, I think, 8 more right now if you so choose over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Pick up my package for $20 a month. That's 50 cents a day. I'm going to put out probably 20 more college basketball games that I like here today. I like volume, and we're pretty hot right now in college basketball for sure. I'm pretty hot right now. I'm on a winning streak here, 5 days, I think, here with at least in bulk, after that Sunday, but we got it back together really quick and had some really strong days too. And with this college basketball card, we should be able to hit this. Here, let's do the drawing. We've got everyone in here. You're going to get a 4-teamer today. In this one, we've got 38 entries. 38 of you commented here on the show. And here we go with the drawing. Who's getting the 4-teamer? We're 0 for 36. Johnny, one time, Irish King, Tex, Joe, Nate, Solo, Philly Eagle Flyer, C. James, Lee Anthony Quinones, and it's Jermaine. Again, Jermaine's going to win this thing, man. I think Jermaine's won more than any here. I think this might be his 3rd time. I tried to say it was his 4th. Maybe he never misses a show, so he didn't miss it one time. But I thought we draw Jermaine more than any. He deserves it. He's always here doing a great job. So thanks, everybody. Let's wrap up the show. Join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Join today Mikey Money and Jeff M. For the afternoon game. I believe they're going to be going on here at, I want to say 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Hope I got that right, guys. Have a great show. Maybe I'll catch up with you guys there, but it's going to be a busy day for me with all this action. But we do have live companion coverage for football today on the channel, so make sure you tune into that as well. Thanks a lot, everybody, here on the Morning Steam Show. Don't forget, pick up those packages there over at winnable.com. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off of the package at winnable.com/Ramon. Get 1 month of plays for just $20. Click the QR code in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. That's 50 cents a day, and I'm on a pretty good roll. So please check me out today over at winnable.com. We didn't get to all the college basketball, and that's where my college basketball is going to be. And if you know what it's like when I start hitting those cards there, what did we have on last, was it Tuesday or Wednesday, when it was on tilt? One card went 6-1, the other one went 5-2. So check me out over at winnable.com. Thanks a lot, everybody. That's it for the show. Have a great day. Enjoy those games and come back to Sports Money for that live coverage here later today. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.